This tablet's got Apple users lacking, and it's bad, let me tell you, it's bad.
iPads have been the de facto tablet for most people in the last few years, but with Samsung's Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, it had us risking it all.
Okay, look, if you came here for an S8 Plus review, stick around because we're about to save you about 300 bucks. All right, so one of my favorite features about this tablet starts with the S Pen. And the thing I love about it is, first of all, the tip is a rubber tip, which gives you a much more paper-like experience. On top of that, there's a button on this pen that allows you to one-click erase anything you just previously typed. So it's a much quicker erasing experience than you typically see on an iPad. One downside to the button is the air actions. You hover the pen over the screen and then you move it in a direction, and it has different gestures that create different actions and open different apps. In my opinion, this is a real miss from Samsung. It just doesn't work. It opens on accident. It's clunky. So something I've turned off since I got the tablet.
One of the best things about this S Pen is that it comes with the tablet when you buy it. You don't have to go out and buy it separately like the iPad and the Apple Pencil. For the writing experience, this pen has a 9 millisecond latency, which means it takes 9 thousandths of a second from when you write to when it shows up on the screen. So you basically can't tell the difference. Last thing about the S Pen, I think Samsung did a really good job of storage and charging for this pen. So you just have to put it on the back here, whereas the iPad charges on the side, but Samsung, you can also take it off the back and put it on the side because magnets are great. How about that? One thing that sets this tablet apart is the display. So you're getting a 12.4 inch OLED display, meaning you're getting great brightness and deep blacks. It's also incredibly sharp, and with all that combined, it makes it a monster for media consumption.
My second favorite feature, and it's a little bit slept on, is the quad speakers. This tablet naturally lays in a landscape format, and it has one speaker in each corner facing outward, which gives a great entertainment experience whether you're laying on the couch or in bed. You can almost get a Dolby Atmos type feeling from it, and I think it's great. One of my other favorite features about this device is the split screen and multitasking features it has. It makes it super easy to take notes. As a college student, I was copying notes and PowerPoints at the same time, and it gave a great experience, and it was super easy and seamless. So if this is something you're interested in, you gotta check this out.
On the topic of note-taking, this tablet is a beast at that as well. When you combine the display with the S Pen and the underrated Samsung Notes app, you get one of the best note-taking experiences on the market. Now, if you really want to take this tablet to the next level, I highly recommend getting the keyboard case that Samsung makes. This case obviously adds a keyboard and a trackpad, as well as an extra little storage protection for the S Pen so it doesn't fall out as easily. The case is definitely not necessary, but if you're on the go a lot and have to take notes and kind of have this as your only device for travel, I highly recommend it. However, I will say that the trackpad is subpar at best and doesn't really add to the experience, but it is there if you need it.
Really quick, just wanted to mention, if you don't want to spend the money on the keyboard, you can actually get a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to connect to this at the same time, and it's an on-the-go workstation.
One minor flaw I found with this tablet is that there's still a lack of support for some apps, but over the past few years, I think they've made some great strides in that area, so it's not been as big of a problem, but it is a problem with some apps.
All these features will have Apple users doing a double take like,
Nani?
Jokes aside, the Tab S7 Plus is a great tablet, so let's dive into the details of the specs a little bit. So to start, the Tab S7 Plus retailed for $850 when it was originally released in 2020. However, Samsung usually has some pretty good deals, and you can usually find it for under $700 today. And on Amazon, you can even find it for $530 at the time of filming this. However, Samsung's next generation, the S8 Plus that came out in 2022, is retailing at $900. So just keep that in mind for the end of the video.
All right, so the section nobody's been waiting for, the camera. You get a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel ultra wide. Honestly, they're garbage. If you're buying a tablet for a camera, either 8, 98, lost, and don't even bother subscribing because we don't want you here. But there are some relevant examples of how you can use this camera that are worth mentioning. First, it's great for PDF scan or anything you might need in that sense. I love to scan PDFs, sign them, and send them back to whoever needs them. Great for contracts and other things like that. Also great for some quick notes on top of photos. It's really helpful if you just snap a picture of something, you can draw right on top of it, then you can use it in a meeting or save it for notes later. If you're using this camera for anything other than those things, it's pointless. You have this great piece of tech in your pocket, maybe use that to take some photos. And if you want to see some info about that, check out this video right here.
Now, this tablet's got some insane sex appeal. The aluminum frame is curvy where it should be and boxy where it needs to be. What are we saying, bro? The bezels are thick, but not too thick, and I think this is great because it gives that edge-to-edge feeling on the display, but also gives you a place to grip the tablet well. If you're coming straight from your smartphone to use this tablet, the bezels are gonna look big, but once you've been using it for a little bit, it kind of just goes away and you don't even notice it.
Adding to this sex appeal is the display, and it's great. It's great for movies, it's great for TV shows, anything you can think of. I love just looking at this tablet. You get a 12.4-inch OLED display and a 120 Hz refresh rate. And this screen technically has a higher pixel density than the iPad Pro, so it just proves to you how great it looks. In terms of UI, if you're a Samsung user, you know exactly what you're getting. It's the one UI that we know and love. It's great, it's clean, it's minimal, and I really enjoy it. Some nice things about it, you can swipe down from anywhere on the tablet to get that action bar, which is great because, you know, your thumb isn't big enough to reach the top of the screen. On top of that, you can still get swipe gestures even though it's on a tablet. Some people do and don't prefer this. I use them, I like them. If you're coming from a different device, honestly, I don't think it'll be that big of a difference for you. You'll learn it pretty quick, and it's a really enjoyable UI. So one great semi-hidden feature on this tablet that is involved with the UI is Samsung DeX. This gives you a desktop type feel from the tablet and allows you to sync up with other monitors and desktops. We'd love to talk more about it, and we think we're going to in a new video. Feel free to subscribe and check that out at a later date.
As far as performance goes on this tablet, you're getting a 10,090 milliamp hour battery, as well as 45 watt fast charging. As far as battery life, I'm getting 2 to 3 days, even more sometimes on this, and I can watch multiple movies on a flight or, you know, not charge it after working a couple days. So it's got great battery life. Plus, having the 45 watt fast charging at your disposal is helpful when you need a quick boost. You're also getting the Snapdragon 865 Plus, which was a really good chip when it came out. Ever since we bought this tablet, Austin and I have been seeing some great performance and haven't really seen any degradation in performance, so it's still holding up. However, if you do want better performance and a more updated chipset, there is Samsung's new Tab S8 Plus that came out in 2022, and that has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Between the two chips, there's definitely been a boost in peak performance with the 8 Gen 1, but the main benefit of the 8 Gen 1 is its efficiency. Some other upgrades you get with the S8 Plus are a lower latency on the S Pen at 2.8 milliseconds, as well as an extra year of software updates. You also get a slightly sharper ultra-wide selfie cam, you get Wi-Fi 6E instead of Wi-Fi 6, and you get Bluetooth 5.2 instead of Bluetooth 5. But really, everything else is the same, and if you really care about having these minor upgrades, then I would say go for the S8 Plus. But honestly, at $900, it's hard to justify these minor upgrades. And at $200 cheaper, it's really hard to pass up the almost identical Tab S7 Plus, especially since it's still holding up 2.5 years later.
All right, let us know in the comments. Are you getting the S8 Plus or the S7 Plus? Will you maybe even switch from your iPad? I don't know, I would. If you think you're as sexy as this tablet, leave a like. Otherwise, subscribe for the vibe. And always remember, you can't be beefy
without the cake.